In a dramatic night of hockey history, Minnesota emerged once again as the undisputed champions of the PWHL, capturing their second consecutive Walter Cup in front of a roaring home crowd in St. Paul. With nerves frayed and the weight of legacy hanging in the balance, it was Liz Schepers who sealed her place in the annals of sports greatness. 12 minutes into sudden death overtime, Schepers delivered the knockout blow, a goal born not just of skill, but of will, resilience, and championship pedigree. It wasn't just any goal. This was the culmination of a relentless battle, a series defined by razor-thin margins and overtime drama. Every game in this best-of-5 final ended 2-1. Every game needed overtime. And yet, each time, it was Minnesota who emerged on top in 3 of the 4 contests. They didn't just win, they survived and conquered. The game winner was a moment of grit and quick instinct. Katie Knoll, with ice in her veins, slid the puck to the heart of the slot. Schepers unleashed a quick wrister. Ottawa's Gwyneth Phillips, spectacular all series long, made the initial stop. But champions don't hesitate. Schepers followed up, crashed the crease, and shoved home the rebound. It was chaos, it was beauty, it was hockey at its most raw and glorious. Assists came from Knoll and Klara Himlerova, both delivering under pressure with poise and precision. This wasn't just another play. It was a team acting in sync, players trusting each other with everything on the line. And at the heart of it all stood Schepers, the same player who scored the title-winning goal 1 year ago. Lightning had struck twice, and it had struck in the same jersey. Maddie Rooney, the bedrock of Minnesota's defense, stood tall between the pipes yet again. With 33 saves on 34 shots, she was impenetrable. She wasn't just a goalie tonight, she was a wall, a force of nature. With this 5th straight playoff win, Rooney tied the league record for most wins in a single postseason. Her consistency, her composure, her calm in the storm, that's what legends are made of. On the other side of the ice, Gwyneth Phillips was equally sensational. Though she faced heartbreak tonight, her performance this postseason was historic. With 36 saves in the final game, a 1.15 goals against average, and a staggering .954 save percentage across 8 starts, Phillips earned every bit of her title as the Ilana Kloss Playoff MVP. A rookie, yes, but she played with the steel nerves of a veteran. 4 playoff wins, including a shutout, and no regulation losses. She was Ottawa's last line of defense and often their best player on the ice. The game began with a tight, measured pace, 2 teams that had studied each other over hours of grueling hockey. At 10:10 of the second period, it was Minnesota's Kelly Panik who finally broke through. A precision pass from Claire Thompson found Grace Zumwinkle, who worked the puck to Panik. A quick release, a flash of red light, and Minnesota had the lead. It was Panik's second of the playoffs, a goal scored not just with finesse but with grit and determination. But Ottawa, resilient and proud, was not about to fade quietly. Teresa Vanisova, the team's regular season scoring leader, had been snakebitten throughout the postseason. 8 games, 32 shots, nothing to show. But tonight, on her 33rd shot, she broke through. Just past the halfway mark of the third, Danielle Serdachny and Jocelyn Larocque set her up with a pinpoint play, and Vanisova buried it. The ice tilted. Momentum shifted. It was 1-1, and the tension in the arena became palpable. The final stretch of regulation saw nerves of steel and bodies on the line. Every puck battle mattered. Every clearance was cheered. And then, overtime. Again. As if scripted by the hockey gods, this series simply refused to end in 60 minutes. Through the second and third periods, no penalties were called, a rarity in modern hockey. But overtime brought raw emotion, and at 8:01, the referees had to cool things down with offsetting minors for roughing. The physicality never let up. These weren't just 2 teams, they were warriors refusing to back down. Then came the decisive blow. The pass, the shot, the save, and the follow-up. Schepers pounced, and the puck crossed the line. The crowd exploded. Helmets flew into the air. The Frost had done it. Again. It's one thing to win a title. It's another to defend it. It requires focus, hunger, and belief in your system, your teammates, and your own resolve. Minnesota had it all. A full calendar year of expectations, of knowing every other team was hunting them, and they stood tall once more. This was no fluke. This was a statement. The PWHL, still in its infancy, has seen something remarkable in Minnesota. Back-to-back titles. A core that delivers under pressure. Players who rise when it matters most. Legends being written in real time. For Ottawa, heartbreak lingers, but so does pride. They pushed the champions to the brink. They answered the call night after night. And in Phillips, Vanisova, and the rest of the Charge, they have the nucleus of a team that will come back stronger. But tonight belongs to the Frost. To Rooney, to Schepers, to Panic. To every skater who blocked a shot, who battled on the boards, who didn't quit when fatigue screamed at them to stop. To a team that earned every inch of ice, every cheer from the crowd, every word of praise. St. Paul will remember this night. The fans, the players, the staff, everyone who made this journey possible. The Walter Cup stays home. The story continues. Minnesota has built more than just a team. They've built a legacy. And tonight, that legacy shines a little brighter.